Hey, this is Raul Balufit. Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, I'm a real estate investor, flipper, do wholesale deals out of Miami, Florida, and been doing business for 10 years and millions of dollars. The purpose of this channel is to help you make the most amount of money in real estate with least amount of mistakes and hopefully give you a little bit of impact on your business. In this video, we're gonna talk about Dave Ramsay's advice to someone who's in debt. Without further ado, let's get into the modern day financial Buddha, Dave Ramsay.
Hi, Dave. Thank you for having me.
Sure. What's up?
So I live in D.C. I just recently got married about 3 months ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And my husband and I have really decided we need to be really focused on the same page about our finances. We actually have our first class of financial peace this evening.
Oh, cool.
But together we have probably just under $1 million in debt, and we want to know how to get debt-free without filing bankruptcy.
Okay. How much of that is a mortgage?
The mortgage, about $210,000.
So you have $600,000 in what?
$335,000 is about in student loans. We both have advanced degrees, and then the rest is really credit cards and personal loans.
So you have $300,000 of credit cards and personal loans?
We have about $335,000 in student loans and about $136,000 in credit cards, $44,000 personal loans, and $35,000 car loans.
She's got her numbers together. They're not great numbers, but at least she knows what she's talking about. I mean, $300,000 in student debt. That's tough because the way that those loans are structured, you're almost never going to pay that off unless you pay in like really big chunks. So honestly, I feel bad for her, but let's keep watching.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 29.
Okay. So what in the world?
So
I mean, are you both on this, or is this just one of you that's completely lost your mind?
Well, I have the majority.
I like his reaction. I like that he's very straight up and tells her like, "Hey, this is crazy," you know, especially at 29 years old. $800,000 in debt is $610,000 in non-mortgage debt. That means student loans, personal loans, credit cards. Like, that's wild to me.
Majority of the student loans, and he has the majority of the credit cards. My credit card debt is not great.
Okay,
it's
so
about
why does he at 29 years old run up $100,000 in credit card debt?
Well, he's 32, but I think it's one of those things where just making really poor financial decisions, thinking be able to pay it down as you go, and then it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And
okay, so you both have advanced degrees. What are your degrees in?
We do. So I have a
Please don't say finance.
degree. Well, both of our advanced degrees. No, he has an MBA, and I have an advanced degree in policy. I work in the government, and we actually both do now at this point.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so your household income is what?
Our household income.
I was gonna ask them like, how much are you making, or how close are you to making that kind of money? Like, you must have pretty decent salaries, because if you think you're gonna pay back the $600K in debt, I mean, I don't know. Or who's giving you all this credit limit? This is crazy. All right.
Income is about $230,000.
Okay. All right.
Income.
Is there recognition on both of your parts how absurd this situation is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there is.
right.
So
Great.
I think we're both a bit.
And some people like kind of put the old Ramsey down, but I think overall he's actually really trying to help people. And it seems like the advice he's giving is more for, people with 9-to-5s, very stable jobs, maybe not such a high education and things like that, which is perfectly fine. So I think that his intent with his show and his intent with all this is good. He's actually trying to help people. I do think some of the advice he gives on debt and things like that might not help people make more money per se. So I'm curious to see his advice. Right now he's kind of ranking on them, which he should. If I was kind of coaching this person, I don't really coach people on finances and stuff, but if I was in his position, I would call him out and be like, hey, this is nuts. And so I'm glad he did that. So that's a good part.
Scared and want to do anything we can to avoid
Okay, great. Then I'm on your team. I can skip that step. Okay, good. Okay, well, you're scared, and you should be. You're disgusted, and you should be.
We are.
You're early in the early stages of being sick and tired, and you should be. So,
Yeah.
here's the thing: you guys have been living at across the board, from your education choices to your car purchases to your whatever. You've been living at about 10x where you're going to get to live for the next 3 years.
Okay. Yep, that's true.
So I'm getting ready to destroy your life as you know it. Because your lifestyle is considerably above your extremely good income. And has been for a period of time. And so you've gotten used to spending like you're in Congress.
Right.
This is going to be very emotional for y'all.
Actually, that's a pretty good like sales technique and psychology thing. Like he anchored their emotions at like, I'm going to ruin your life. So now everything he says next is actually going to be pretty digestible for them. So that's actually pretty, you can tell the man knows how to speak.
And you're going to have to look at it through that lens and through a spiritual lens, or you're not going to make it. You're going to have to not care what anyone thinks, including each other, because you're not going to spend any money on anything ever for the next 3 years. Like you've been let's pretend you're making 210, and I know you just got married, but let's pretend you'd been doing this as a couple as you went along. You've been making 210, spending 310. I'm getting ready to put you on 30.
Okay.
You're not going to see the inside of a restaurant unless it's your extra job, or you're waiting on some of the people you work with during the day.
Okay.
This is how humbling this is going to be.
Quite.
It's going to crush a lot of crap in your soul that caused you to do this. So the bad news is it's going to be really rough. The good news is it's going to be great for you guys relationally, spiritually, and financially. But you're not going to make the financial unless you make the relational and the spiritual move, because I know you guys because I was you guys. This is exactly what I did. It's exactly what I did in my 20s. I bought and purchased a lifestyle that was 5 to 10x what I had.
Yeah.
And it was all because of crap inside of me that caused me to do that.
Right.
And all of that has to be destroyed to fix it.
Absolutely.
I mean, overall, I think it's pretty good advice. It doesn't seem like these people need like financial advice per se. I think they need to have a lifestyle change, which is more, seems like therapeutic, psychological for these people so far. And I feel he's giving them that. I think he's going to start giving them like financial advice now. But overall, I kind of agree with the Big Dave so far.
Absolutely.
Is this making any sense, or is this too brutal?
No, it's making a lot of sense, and it's brutal.
I'm warning you what's coming, okay? This is not a math problem.
Oh, I just said that.
The math problem is the symptom. The problem is what's going on inside of you guys. So the great news is you're very smart people. And if you will apply that intellect to solving this problem as if it were a policy problem or a business problem, you can solve the problem. But the lens by which the problem will be solved is through spiritual contentment. Godliness with contentment is great gain. Translation, you're going to pull up at a stoplight driving a piece of crap car next to people that have an income a fourth of yours with a nicer car than yours.
Right.
And you're not going to...
The only thing I've heard so far that I don't really agree with, and I think maybe he's just giving a huge analogy, was, hey, you're used to spending $310, and I think you guys should spend $30. I mean, I've heard nothing here on, hey, how can you increase your income? I've heard nothing yet on, hey, if you're working in the government, are there any roles, like what's your next step to get a promotion? How do you increase your income? Yes. Do they need expense control? Absolutely. Do they need a lifestyle change? 100%. But I think the focus, I think at least 50% of the focus should be on how can we increase the income to get you out of debt while you still start saving money, right? Instead of spending $310, let's take you down. We can arrive at $30,000. I think that seems very extreme, but I think I get where he's going. We could arrive at the theoretical $30,000, but at the same time, let's increase the income from $210 to $300 or $400. What are some side hustles you could do? Pinterest side hustles. What are some side hustles you could do? What are some things you could do in order to increase your income within your own job or maybe how much time per week do you have extra? What can we do with that time per week? At the same time, let's start getting rid of your debt, and let's start getting rid of this lifestyle that you've created.
Not going to care. That's going to be the cool part.
Okay.
You're going to reach the point you don't care what other people think. And that might be a fair journey for you or him. I don't know which one it is, but some of you guys you've been purchasing a lot of stuff for a lot of reasons that are going to change.
Yep. They have to.
Yeah, they have to, because you're on a suicide mission right now.
Oh.
I mean,
his credit cards are actually bundled with one of those like debt relief programs where we put a pot of money with them and then they negotiate on your behalf. So we're not even paying on the bulk $124,000 of the credit cards right now.
Yeah, you're going to probably have to pull out of that. I don't know how quickly, but the problem with those people is they don't follow through, and they administratively are really, really, really pitiful. They're incompetent. And so you're going to find they don't, the concept of what they pitched you is not completely bad, but you're going to find their follow through it will make your bones chill. So you're probably going to pull back out of those. But then we're just going to list these debts smallest to largest. What's the home worth?
What's the home life, you said?
No, what is your home worth?
Oh, my home worth. Oh, I think that, let's see, according to Zillow, the home is worth about
Zillow's God.
$300,000.
Okay, so you have a little bit of equity there, but not enough. Not enough to save you. So I always sell the home as the last resort unless it's the problem, and it's not the problem here.
Okay.
Ratio wise, it's nothing compared to this other stuff. I mean, you have $330,000 in student loan debt, $200,000 on your house.
Right.
It's not the problem, and the credit cards are almost as much as a stinking house. So it's not the problem. So I don't think we got to sell it. You probably may need to sell a car. Not going to rush to do that. The big thing is just this shock to the system of your all's lifestyle.
I remember this happened to me once, not to this extent, that's nuts, but this happened to me once. I had kind of like I overspent after a couple months, and what I did was I just canceled my credit cards, and that was super helpful. I literally canceled all my credit cards for a month, and I went cash only. Like I went to my bank, and every week I would take out $500 or $600. I'd keep it in my pocket, and that's what I had to spend. And that taught me a lot of lessons. I got a lot of calls of like, hey, you didn't pay this bill, you didn't pay that bill. But what canceling your credit cards do is that it forces you to get all the phone calls, right, from the people that you're paying. And then at that point, you make the decision like, damn, do I keep this subscription? Do I keep this thing that I'm paying for or not? And that was really, really helpful. Ever since I did that, I kind of got really to grip with my expenses. It's never really happened to me again. But I would highly recommend that for these people. Do not give these people a credit card. It's literally worse than giving them a gun, Like they're going to, they're going to like, I don't know, destroy their lives even more.
Where you go from really living what we call in Tennessee high on the hog to you're going to be living beans and rice and beans. Your friends are going to think you've lost your mind, and your mother's going to think you need counseling.
Yeah, and we live with my parents now. After we got married, they offered us to stay with them to help us, with transitioning to new life, which has definitely been helpful. Renting out the
who's
condo.
Living in your house?
So I put my condo up for rent when I got engaged because I knew I wanted to save money for the wedding before we got married. So I had a renter in there the last year, actually looking for another renter. Her lease ends in a month.
Oh, we'll just sell it then.
So very, very interesting video. I do think this lady can be saved, her and her husband. They make good income. They're smart people. They have a condo that's worth $90K that they can sell and help jumpstart their debt. I think they need massive life changes. Overall, I think Dave's advice was decent. He didn't talk about anything about making more income, which I didn't like. I don't know. I feel like he could have, maybe after this video, he talks to them more. I don't know, but I think he could have done a better job on the income piece. There's a really good book that helped me with this called The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, I think. It really talks about living below your means and why that's so important, and that most millionaires are actually school teachers, engineers, basically like professions. It's not entrepreneurs, most millionaires. It's just people who save diligently, make a consistent income, and make good choices. And overall, it seems like these people, and Dave Ramsay told them, like, you have to really do a lifestyle change, live below your means, and that goes a really long way. Wealth is not how much money you make, but it's the gap between your income and your spend. Really good video. Definitely interesting to take the calls. I'm sure he gets a lot of those people like that. And I think his education is geared towards people who are in that range, which is fine. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this helps. Let me know what you think about what you saw in this video. Let me know how you would help them. Or if you're in this situation, let me know how you would kind of like fix that problem. I'll either respond to you in the comments or I'll make a video about it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.